All right, guys. Feeling pretty good today. Good morning. So, I wanted to start out with dream flight. So, dreams have a big meaning to me because dreams are a symbolic way of your subconscious mind sending you messages. And when you fly in a dream, it might happen in two ways. So the first way would be you're already flying. And as you're flying, you become conscious that you're in a dream. And then what happens is you don't know how to fly. So you start falling in the dream. And you start thinking, how was I flying and how can I fly? The second way is you're in a dream and you decide that you want to fly. And then you have to figure out how to do the movement and how to get yourself up. Now, as I was growing up, I had experiences where I had dream flight, and it was hard to understand how to do it and when I could do it and when I couldn't do it. There was sometimes when I would jump into the air and I would just fall. But lately, I've been having many dreams where just about every single dream that I have, I use flying as my mode of transportation. So it's really exhilarating. And the effects that it has on me is in this life, I feel like I'm flying. Like anything that I want to do, I'm able to do it. My life is going so fast and all my goals I'm reaching so quickly that I have to constantly be setting new goals because if not, um, I guess it'd be like the dream. I'd be falling, right? It's really important to have a good mindset when you're doing things because if you have a good mindset about what you're doing, then it pushes you forward. But if you don't have a good mindset, it's almost as though you're dragging yourself to do these things. And that might have to do with vision. What can you see past your physical eyes? Because our physical eyes only show us this reality here. And we become so used to it. But if you want to get further in life, you got to be able to see beyond that. You got to be able to envision what life could be like. And by doing that, you start to plan ahead. What am I going to be doing to get to where I want to be? And this is where the third eye comes in. So, the third eye chakra, very important to be able to visualize these things because we must think of them before we do them. It begins with a thought. And if you're not taking the time to envision these things, then things don't just happen by chance. Everything that I've done in my life, I've done because I've thought about it first. And the idea pushed me forward to decide I'm going to work towards this. And I've been very fortunate to be able to accomplish so many of my goals that I'm always looking for ways to get even further. What can I be doing to accelerate this progress? For the longest time, I've been using a notebook and I've also used the calendar. If you saw me at my old house, I had a calendar up where I would put different things that I wanted to do that day, and in my notebook I would just put notes of impressions that I got throughout the day and plans of how I was going to accomplish things. But to be honest, in my notebook everything was pretty scattered. So it was really hard for me to find things, and I wouldn't read it again. Most of the time I just wrote something down to show that it was important to me, but without reading it again, you're not accountable. And so I was looking for something, something that was going to help me to, put these things together and do it in a more organized way. And I even thought about, creating my own notebook or my own planner and, selling that. But that would be such a big task to do. And as I was looking, throughout the internet, I found that there was this planner called the Evo planner, and it was still on Kickstarter, so it was taking some time before it got released. And recently I got it. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. If you guys are on YouTube, this is what it looks like. And if you're on SoundCloud, then it's a blue notebook that has a lot of good information. It actually tells you the kind of planner that you are. And, I don't want to give you too much of the information because, like a movie, I don't want to spoil it. If it's something that you would like to do, then, you could buy it and you could see all the benefits that it can give you. But the one that I am is the Oracle. And so you do a test, and this test asks you some questions, and from the questions, they give you one of 4. And the Oracle says, you need to disconnect and find focused time to thrive. So where I get my best ideas is when I'm alone, when I take the time to get away from everything and even be in silence, just so that I can think. And when I think, it allows me to focus and envision, and I'm taking in this world, but I'm also taking it in through my mind and through my mind's eye. And I'm able to share those things with people. So I always need to set apart some time in my day, whether it's meditation or whether it's planning, or sometimes I use my whiteboard to jot down ideas. And it gives me life. It gives me an energy because it makes me want to do things. Okay, and what this provides is it gives you 2 things. It gives you a weekly plan and also a daily plan. So it helps to push you to, do things throughout the week. Remember that this is what you wanted to do throughout the week, but also do things daily. So it begins with, what am I grateful for today? What am I going to focus on? What is my most important task of the day? And it also gives you places to write things about your favorite moments. What did you learn this week? And it gives you a score. So the score is, when it comes to health, how well was my week? When it comes to love and relationships, how well did my week go? Cash flow, how well did the week go for that? Fun and enjoyment, meaning and contribution. So a lot of different things. And personally, I don't work on all of those things, but I'd like to. So this is definitely a good way of doing that. And another plus that this has is it actually has a QR code that allows you to scan into an app, and it records what you put down on that page. So now you have charts and graphs as to show your improvement. Now, as I was writing things down in my Evo planner, I was realizing as I was writing that the way that I wrote the things down that I wanted to do really mattered. The reason is because one of the things I wrote down was I want to finish reading the book High Trust Selling. And if I just say I want to finish reading this book, that does not have enough intention, because all that says is I want to finish it at some point. It says that I don't really care, but I want to do it. I want to get it done. But if I put more intention into it, I would like to finish reading this book by the end of this week. It pushes me to do that. The way that you write things down is really important. And by writing something down and then by reading it later, it keeps you accountable. In that moment, you wanted to do that, but you can't let that just be excitement. Eric Thomas said it best. There is excitement and there is commitment. In the moment when you're going through something, you might feel excited. I want to lose, 10 pounds in 2 months. you're excited. But if you're not committed to it, then it falls off really quickly. So if you're actually committed to it, you're going to write that down. I am going to lose 10 pounds in 2 months. And you're going to read it later and you're going to plan, how am I going to do that? And constantly be working at it, because then you are showing that you're committed to this and you're not just excited. I was going to say, I'm very excited. I'm very committed to using this planner every single day so that it can be something that would keep me accountable and that it can accelerate my progress. And thank you so much for listening, guys.